very much. Thanks. Andy Bell, 5 News. Talk to anyone in the Labour Party, publicly and privately, the people running the government, and they will say they're not so bothered about you and the Conservatives. They regard Reform UK and Nigel Farage as the real opposition, the real danger. Mm. How does that make you feel?
I laugh when they say that because I know it's nonsense. They would love to have Reform as the main challenger. They would love that. Reform is another left-wing party. They're arguing for the same things: nationalisation, 2-child benefit cap. They would love to have a political fight like that. I don't pay any attention to what they say. I pay attention to what they do. Look at what we have done in getting them to reverse the winter fuel payments. Time and time again, when I asked that question at PMQs, people said, why is she asking this question? Now we've got a U-turn. They've made a whole mess on education. They're losing teachers. Their jobs tax has increased costs for so many businesses. They are closing down. They are ruining our economy. We are the economically credible party. Of course, they don't want to face us. So I laugh because what they're trying to do is talk this situation into existence. Labour is going to be facing the Conservative Party at the next election, and we're going to get them out. And there's a final question from Matthew Saville from RUSI, Director of Military Sciences. Yes,
yes indeed. So the Conservative Party position seems to be that the Strategic Defence Review doesn't go far enough, fast enough. Yeah. What is it that you think should be prioritised, and what would you cut elsewhere in defence or sacrifice in terms of wider government spending in order to afford it?
Right. So the SDR unravelled, in my view, because the government doesn't have a plan to pay for the 3%. They need to get a plan to pay for the 3%. That means a huge focus on the economy. It means making difficult decisions on welfare, not expanding the welfare state. But in terms of our priorities, it's not just about money. It's also about pace. So we want to see a lot more focus on the near-term threat. We've got to fire our industrial base now. All of the visits that I've done, just looking at what's happening in terms of construction, we can't wait for the 2030s. You know, they're talking about maybe getting to 3% by 2034. In my view, that will be far too late. So just a lot more greater focus. So the key point is that so much of what was in the SDR is years away. It builds on some of the things that we did, AUKUS, for example, some of that Pacific tilt. But when you look at the detail, what Labour is talking about is, you know, smoke and mirrors. There's a bit of sleight of hand in terms of how they're presenting those numbers. There's a reason why a lot of the defence and former defence chiefs have come out to criticise it. And that's what we need to get focused on. How do we really tool up our military for the threats today, not hope that we can get there in 10 years' time? All right, I think I'm going to stop there. Thank you very much, everybody.